What is going on, everyone? Mirko Lind here, and sitting at what used to be the Tipsy Seagull here at Treasure Cay on a beautiful Treasure Cay morning, coming at you with another Treasure Cay update. My last update video was in April of this year, April 2024, and in that video, that was right after the buyer for Treasure Cay Limited had just become, the name had just become public, Ed Burr out of Jacksonville, Florida with Greenpointe Holdings. And a lot has happened since then. Today is August 20th, 2024, and I'm going to tell you everything I know, everything I'm hearing, and this is going to be a whole lot more thorough of an update video. At the beginning, I am going to talk about what I know, what I'm hearing about the sale, and then after that, I am going to go in and actually update you guys on the properties, how the golf course is as of today, how the restaurant situation is as of today, all of that good stuff, because, I realize that I am very fortunate to be able to spend a lot more time here than most, and so I kind of want to share the information that I gather with you guys. I want to be a resource for all fellow Abacos and Treasure Cay lovers out there. And really quick before we get into the video, as you guys can probably tell, I am shooting this video on a different camera than my usual videos. I usually use my little DJI action cam, which is just a GoPro, basically a GoPro, but from another company. And for this one, I decided to break out the Sony A7, which is obviously a much higher quality camera that produces a much higher quality image. And so I just want to test it out and see if it's something that you guys like. So please let me know down in the comments below if you like this camera better. If not, I'll go back to the old one, but let me know and let's get into the video. Getting into where things stand today and all of the rumors I'm hearing surrounding Treasure Cay. Sadly, I don't know a whole lot more than what the average, individual who's interested in Treasure Cay knows. A couple days ago, there was a post in the Treasure Cay Facebook group where people were talking about updates, and somebody did chime in that group chat and talked about how they were here, and I guess an associate of Ed Burr had walked them around the premises and gave them the master plan. And he talked a little bit about that, and then the very last line was, without a doubt, it will be private. So I'm going to address that one a little bit, but where the sale stands, Ed and Greenpointe Holdings, they've had the property under, I guess not the property, Treasure Cay Limited, which owns all the property, under contract for over a year now. And in April, when they released that article, the Tribune here in the Bahamas, they were doing their due diligence on kind of, as they called it, understanding the asset. And then we're moving into Bahamian approvals, the government approvals. And as far as I had understood for the past, throughout summer, they were still in that approval process. And so, without me being in the midst of it, I've met Ed a couple times. I briefly talked to him. We're not friends. He has no reason to give me any information. So, nothing's coming directly from Ed's mouth. Let me just put that out there right now. But as far as I've been told, they're pretty much through that approval process and done. I did have one individual tell me that at this point, the only thing that they're doing is negotiating import taxes for materials here in the Bahamas. Because, I don't even want to guess how many tens of millions of dollars in material coming in to rebuild this place that must be. And once this place is rebuilt, it's going to stimulate the economy greatly. So, it makes sense for the government to give a developer who wants to develop Treasure a break on taxes, because it's fantastic for not only the Abacos, but the Bahamas as a whole to have this place up and running. And so that was the last I had heard on where they were. And then moving forward in the timeline on closing, I have heard two separate things, one from probably a little bit more reliable source than the other. The first one that I heard was that, and this was, well, when was this? I was told this probably a week ago. And again, I don't know the reliability of the source. Luckily, because of this YouTube, I've gotten to a point where, occasionally I meet people and they'll tell me things. And this was one of those situations. But basically, I was told that everything was pretty much done with the government, and they were just kind of moving forward into closing here in the near future, and that they had actually already, picked dock contractors to rebuild the marina here, and had basically already picked one. And he mentioned that the contract was signed already. I don't know if that's true. I'm not in the development world, so I don't know if you'd sign that contract before the actual closing has taken place. But he told me by the end of August, things should start happening pretty damn quickly. And moving forward, I don't know if he meant that it's closing at the end of August or that after August, the closing process is going to move quickly, and sometime during hurricane season, it's going to go through. I don't know. The second thing that I heard was November, and this was from a source I trust. I don't know how involved they are, but they usually are pretty on top of things. And they said that we just have, actually, let me pull up the exact message that I got from them, and I'll read it to you guys. So give me a second here. All right, so here's the message that I received from this individual. Again, this is somebody whom I know and who is very invested here on Treasure Cay. And it was just, I'm not going to say the names here because I don't want to dox anyone, but was just with blank in insert South Florida City, talking about Ed Burr. Everything seems good, just need to dodge hurricane season. And so that makes it sound like they're waiting through hurricane season. You know, I assume to make sure this place doesn't get pounded by another hurricane. But those are the two most reliable things I've heard so far. One, end of August, you know, contracts are already being signed with contractors to do the work. And second, November. And so I don't know which one is right. However, that bodes well for everyone. That means things will start happening in the next couple months should either of those ones be true. And I do want to mention, and this could just be, you know, me making observations I never made in the past, that over the past probably month and a half, maybe 2 months, which I've been here pretty much the entire time, things have been busy. Obviously, the island itself has been busy, but also with workers. There have been workers everywhere. Lots of uniformed Treasure Cay workers. You know, they wear the green and the blue shirts that say Treasure Cay here. And then on the back, it says, you know, what they are, whether it be landscaping or management or whatever it is. There has been a ton of them working on everything here. You know, the Cocoa Beach Walk property, which I'm going to go into here in a little bit. Now, they always keep it manicured, but there's been a lot more landscape workers there than usual. Same as down by the golf course in this area surrounding the pool and the Tipsy. Now, that could just be regular maintenance. It could mean they're getting ready for something. I don't know. All I can tell you is that there definitely is more activity here with workers than I've probably seen in the last couple of years, which is exciting. You know, at the very least, the Meisters, who, as far as I know, still currently own Treasure Cay Limited, are at least putting the money in to maintain it. So that is perfect. All right, I'm sitting here and I'm editing this video right now, and I just want to add a little bit of context to what I just said about the workers being here. Something that I failed to mention in the video is along with all those workers working out where the marina used to be kind of next to the parking lot, there were those little kind of houses there. I don't know what they're officially called. I believe they were just workers' houses. I think Rip used to have one, but they've been abandoned, untouched, overgrown since the storm. And as of the last couple weeks, they're actually they completely mowed and got rid of all the overgrowth. They're rebuilding those houses. And so that is happening. And like I said, those have not been touched for years. So clearly stuff is happening here. And then actually yesterday, after I had finished filming everything, I was driving down the main road and they had workers there filling in potholes on the street as well. And so workers are working, things are happening. Again, it could just be regular maintenance, but I can tell you it's a lot more activity than we've seen since Dorian. So that's all a very positive thing. And something real quick that I want to talk about that I forgot to talk about when I was going over, you know, what I know about Treasure Cay is obviously the rumor mill is going wild that Treasure Cay is going to become private. Now, I wish I had a definitive answer for everyone on that front. I don't, but I can tell you what I'm hearing. And so a lot of people, including that guy on Facebook I mentioned earlier, who said, without a doubt, it will be private. I don't see Treasure Cay becoming, you know, fully private. And I know it makes a lot of sense for Treasure to become private. I mean, it's a big second homeowner community with one of the biggest marinas in the entire Bahamas, period. A beautiful beach. You can drive from 2 separate airports into the property. There's one road in and out, so you can control who is here. There's a gate. It just makes a lot of sense. However, first, I did have somebody, and this is a very reliable source, tell me that not to worry, Treasure Cay as we know it, you know, the marina, that kind of stuff, will be open to the public. You know, the marina bar, all that stuff will not be private. This place will not become Baker's Bay, which I know a lot of people are pretty worried about. Now, this is me speculating. I wouldn't be surprised if there are some private aspects to it. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if the golf course turns into a golf club where you have to pay, whether it be monthly or annually, to use it. I wouldn't be surprised if they do implement some sort of club or beach club or whatever it is here. But I don't think any of that private stuff that, in my opinion, makes sense. I don't know if they're doing it. This is how I see it, in my opinion. I don't think any of that stuff would hinder anyone from coming here. You know, as far as I've been told by that individual who knows, marina, these facilities, the island as a whole will always be open to the public. You know, it'll always be a vacation spot. It'll always be a popular destination for renters to come and stay and still have access to everything. So I don't think people have to worry about this place becoming private, just like that dude in the comment said. And I could be very wrong on that. I don't know. But this individual, whom I trust and who knows pretty well, did say Treasure Cay will never be fully private as long as they can help it. And so, you know, take that as you will. I'm not going to go into any further detail because I don't know anything else. You know, if I knew something, I would tell you guys. But as I said, I'm not involved with Ed. I'm not involved with Greenpointe. I'm just lucky enough to be in a situation where I spend a bunch of time over here. And because I do these updates, people occasionally do tell me things. But just wanted to address that real quick. Obviously, the rumors are there and the threat is there. I can't say for sure, but I can say based off this conversation that do not worry about the entire place becoming private, because that is not going to be a worry. And then something else I do want to mention, which, if true, this does not bode well for anyone here at Treasure Cay, or any stakeholders, I guess, in Treasure Cay as a whole. But in a lot of my earlier Treasure Cay update videos, I did mention how I know Mirko Kovats. He's the individual who had Treasure Cay Limited under contract before Ed Burr. And so recently, actually, within the past couple days, Mirko did reach out to me for an unrelated issue, but this is what he basically texted me when asked kind of about the sale. And I was very honest with him. I told him, listen, I'm not involved in it. This is, you know, just what I know from being around, and kind of told him the same thing I just told y'all. And to which his answer was, let me pull up this text real quick. All right, here it is. And so the situation that transpired here in the messages was he sent me my last Treasure Cay update video as of April, and basically said, interesting. And so I said, yep, that is pretty much all I know about the Treasure Cay sale. I hear new stuff all the time, but nothing much of substance or anything that is reliable. To which he responded, interesting. Treasure Cay is in litigation and may be in litigation for years to come. Will revert back to my litigation lawyers. And so I know Mirko's goal was to basically lock Treasure Cay Limited up in litigation until, one, the government approves them, or until, two, a new government moves in and hopefully he can win over their approval. And so I don't know the back end of any of this stuff. I just know what he's telling me. I don't even know if this matters. But it is something interesting, and I really, really hope that that does not interfere with the actual sale of treasure and impede on the progress, because I really think we're getting close here to, to the rebuild and getting things going and getting a marina going and a bar and restaurants and a golf course and all that good stuff. And so I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if that even matters, but that is a text I got from somebody who is currently in legal proceedings with a lot of people related to Treasure and Treasure Cay Limited directly. So take that as you will. You know, if you guys have any other, I guess, fresh information to add context to that or to update that, please put it down in the comments below. I really want this video to be a community where everyone can kind of add information to where hopefully we can get a bigger picture just from looking at the videos and the comments and all that good stuff. And so that's pretty much all I know. Ed Burr, I know they should be nearing closing. As far as I'm told, they got the approvals they need, and all of that is assuming that this whole litigation legal issue with Mirko Kovats does not impede it and get in the way, which Mirko seems to want it to or think that it does. I've talked to other people who, in full disclosure, I don't think are tied to the situation whatsoever, have said it's not an issue, that they're two completely separate things, but time will tell. I am going to be here through much of hurricane season, so I'll be able to update you guys on pretty much everything as it happens. Anything I see, you guys are going to learn about. And so for now, that's pretty much the update on the sale. Now I want to go in and talk about the actual you know, state of everything right now. Talk about the restaurants, the golf course, the marina property, the Tipsy property, the Cocoa property, and all of that good stuff. And really quickly before I do, and whoop, it's getting sunny. Let me put on the sunglasses here. And really quick, I do want to do a quick shameless plug. You know, in every one of these videos and pretty much every video on the YouTube channel, I have an HMY hat on and an HMY shirt, or one of the two. And that is my job. I work for HMY Yacht Sales out of Palm Beach, Florida. And that job allows me, you know, to be here. You know, the money I make from that job funds me being over here in the Bahamas. And so just a quick shameless plug that if anyone watching this video here needs anything boating related, whether it be they're looking for a boat, they want to sell their boat, or they just need some resources in the boating community, you know, please reach out. I'm here to help. You know, I'm a fellow Treasure Cay, you know, enthusiast, you could say here. I spend a lot of time here, and so I know the area, I know the waters, I know the boats, I know kind of how everything works over here, and I'm more than happy to help any other Treasure Cay people or Abaco people in general with any of their boating needs. I get a lot of joy out of, you know, working with people who share the same passion for Treasure Cay and the Abacos that I do. So I'm going to put my work email on the screen right now, and then also down in the description. I don't want to harp on that too much, but that job does allow me to do what I do here in the YouTube and with the Treasure Cay update. So if anyone needs anything, please let me know. But moving into the actual updates on how everything stands, I'm going to start out with the golf course. Because I get a lot of comments on YouTube and on Instagram and messages about how's the golf course, can I play the golf course, is the golf course open? And so the golf course, I don't think is in any state to be open or closed right now. I think it's just an area of grass that exists over there. I do see it all the time driving. There are people out there hitting balls around, playing. I don't think they're playing all 18 holes because, as I'm going to show you here in a second, a lot of the holes are quite overgrown. I mean, the actual, you know, I don't play golf, so these terms are going to be wrong, but, you know, fairways and greens are, you know, mowed enough, but the actual rough around it and the surrounding land is completely overgrown. Some of it has feet of weeds and all that. And so the golf course is definitely there. You can drive your golf cart around, bring your own clubs, you know, hit some balls around, and some of the holes are playable, I think. But it by no means is like a thing where you have to go into an office, sign up, you know, have your tee time. It's literally just a property that's there that had a past golf facility that if you want to use it, you can go and use it. And so I kind of just told you the state of it, but that's how it is. The holes by the road, those ones are pretty well manicured. As far as I know, they have one guy who mows the golf course. I assume he does a section a day. And so obviously one man cannot maintain a whole golf course, but definitely does a good job and mows it enough to look good from the street. You know, when you're driving down the main road, it looks manicured, it looks fine. But as you do get further away from the road, obviously it's not quite as manicured because nobody's seeing that. And obviously the golf course is not the priority. And so I'm playing these drone videos on the screen now of how it is. I did take a quick little, when I was there yesterday filming the drone videos, I did take a quick little quote-unquote vlog to show you guys first person how it is, which I'm going to go ahead and play after I finish all this drone stuff. But quick note on the golf course, I do know that Ed is a big golfer. Him and his family, his sons, you know, I don't want to dox Ed, but I follow him on Instagram and one of his sons, and I know right now they're in a foreign country at some golf resort playing a tournament of golf. So they are big golf fans, which bodes well for the Treasure Cay golf course and everything related to that, because I think that's going to be a priority and be good for everyone. All right, so I just went ahead and finished up all the drone videos for the golf course here, and quickly before I head out to go get some more drone videos of the other areas that I'm talking about in this video, I am going to drive around the course just a little bit to show you guys the actual quality of the greens and the grass and all that here on the golf course. All right, so this is one of the holes that's right here along the main road. You know, if you go that way down the main road, it gets to the marina and resort properties. If you go that way, you exit Treasure out the gates. And from my experience, these holes that are by the road here, they're a little bit better manicured and well kept, which makes sense, you know, given that people see them driving by. But with that being said, you know, this is still the quality of it. Right around the hole right here, the grass is still pretty much just weeds and stuff that are cut. And then you can see where the hole is / was. It's literally just weeds around it, not being cut. So I don't know what else you'd really expect. You know, this is owned by Treasure Cay Limited, and you know, so nothing owned by Treasure Cay Limited has been touched in, I don't know, 5 years, 6 years. And then walking off to the side here, this is one of the sand traps. And so they definitely have someone mowing the grass, because even though it is weeds, it is mowed. And you know, someone has been, I don't know the proper word for it, but raking the sand, but it is overgrown with weeds all around it and all that. All right, so that's one of the holes up by the street. We're gonna hop in the golf cart now and go back to one of the holes in the back of the golf course, because from my experience, those holes are not quite as manicured as the ones up here by the street. All right, so this is one of the back holes. The actual hole itself is over there. I don't know if the camera can see it, but I can see the, you know, the post up and down. And I'm actually surprised, the actual green itself, it is nice and mowed. It's the same thing. It's more so just, you know, weeds and grass and all that sort of stuff. However, as far as I know, the quote unquote rough is, you know, hasn't been touched. It's just completely all weeds and wildflowers. Here you can see the difference between the green and that. And then, like I said, I don't play golf, so I'm not 100% positive in it. But I believe up there is the tee box, which I'll go up there in a second and show you guys. It is completely overgrown. But like you can see the rough on this side, like here's the green, and that's the weed growth around the sides. That is, oh, I don't know, probably 2.5 feet tall. So there's your state of the golf holes right now. All right, so this is what I think to be the tee box for the hole that I just showed y'all. There it is down there. Let me zoom in here. That's the hole way over there. But this looks to be the tee box, a big flat area. And if so, I mean, this is the state of it. It's mowed every once in a while, but covered in weeds, you know, big old tall weeds growing all throughout there. And I do want to reiterate that this is expected. This is owned by Treasure Cay Limited. And for the most part, nothing owned by Treasure Cay Limited has been touched in years. So this is nothing that is unexpected. All right, and so now moving into the restaurant side of things. What restaurants are there to eat at Treasure Cay right now? And so I'm gonna start with Flo's, which is, I'm staring at it right now from the old marina area. Definitely the most famous place here on Treasure Cay. Flo's is the bakery where they're famous for the cinnamon rolls, but it's in the shopping strip right here next to the Tipsy. And Flo's is up and running. You know, there's not a whole lot to report there. They do breakfast, lunches, and dinners. I highly recommend going there if you guys have never been there. The food is fantastic. The breakfast is some of my favorite breakfast in the entire world. The cinnamon rolls and the breakfast sandwiches to die for. There's not a lot to report. It's there, it's open. Next, the Bahama Beach Club. You know, the Bahama Beach Club has its restaurants open for lunch every day. They just have the bar menu. And it's pretty good. It's just kind of regular Bahamian bar food. Not a whole lot special going on there. But for lunches, when it's a nice day, they do the lunches at the old side that has a swim-up pool bar and the outdoor seating and all that. And then if it's raining, and for the bar dinners, they go to the new side, which has the pavilion, which has the sliding glass doors and the fans and all that good stuff. And then at nighttime, they do their themed meals. I believe Monday is pizza night, Tuesday is Taco Tuesday, Wednesday is Italian night, Thursday is the bar menu, Friday night is steak night, Saturday night is barbecue night, and then Sunday night is the bar menu again. And so I like the specialty nights. Bahama Beach Club, if anyone goes to Treasure, you can't miss it. Giant pink, you know, condos on the beach there, and everyone goes and eats at the restaurant and goes to the bar there. And so there's that. And then the final restaurant, which is open as of today, you know, August 20th, 2024, is Sunset Pizza. And that's a place I haven't talked about on this channel at all, but it's a fairly new pizza place here. It opened, when did it open? End of last summer, maybe, after hurricane season last year. Whenever it was, it's right outside the gates of Treasure, and it's owned by the same people who own Treasure Sands. And they do pizzas there, they do wings, kind of that's the theme there. And let me be the first to tell you, the food there is absolutely fantastic. Like even, you know, most of the pizza and stuff around the Bahamas, it's all pretty much the same, you know, average by all standards. However, Sunset Pizza, by American standards, is phenomenal pizza. It's extremely good. They have a full, I can't speak. They have a full pizza oven back there. They have a nice bar area. The wings, they cook the wings in a pizza oven. It's fantastic. They have a lot of cool sides. You know, they have this meatball thing, which is basically a meatball with sauce and cheese wrapped around it and then encased in pizza dough. Oh, super good. If you're in the area, you come to Treasure, you have to try Sunset Pizza. Food's absolutely phenomenal. And the atmosphere is awesome too. It's right there on that little piece of property across the street from Treasure Sands, which is on that back, I guess, flats back there that they dredged a bunch of years ago and never did anything with. And so try Sunset Pizza and Treasure Sands across the street. I don't know what's going on with Treasure Sands. I know they've been pushing back opening for what seems like years at this point. You know, they had time to get an entire restaurant and Sunset Pizza up and operational before Treasure Sands got up and operational. But I know right before 4th of July, there was rumors milling around, including a waiter at Sunset Pizza who told me this, that they were going to try to open in July. And that clearly never happened. It's August 20th. They're not open. And someone had told me it was an issue with the pool. I don't know if the pool had a crack in it or what it was, but the pool was the reason I was told of why it's not opening. And obviously now, you know, it's August 20th. Come September, everything shuts down here. So we're definitely not going to see that open until at least, you know, November when everything opens back here at Treasure. And so that's kind of the dining scene here at Treasure. Your three options are Sunset Pizza, Bahama Beach Club, and Flo's Cafe. And so we've talked about the golf course, we've talked about dining. Now let's talk about Treasure Cay Limited infrastructure. So first, in terms of shopping, there's not a whole lot of options. That shopping center over here next to the Tipsy Marina area where Flo's is, that's pretty much the only place you're going to go if you need to buy anything. You know, in there you have Flo's, you know, the bakery. There's also a little mini mart in there. And it's a small mini mart, but for what it is, it's very well stocked. You know, Melly, my wife, and I, we've been here for 2 weeks at a time with no food we brought and just lived off food off the mini mart. Now, you're not going to get your meats and, you know, chicken breasts and steaks and all that, but they have the basics, the pastas, the sauces, you know, the seasonings. They have a little bit of produce here and there, canned foods, you know, cheeses, milk, occasionally ground beef. And so they have enough in there that you can pick up the necessities. Any serious grocery shopping, you got to rent a car and go to Marsh Harbor. But the police station is also in there. The Treasure Cay Limited office is in there. There's a liquor store in there, which the liquor store is open pretty much all day, every day. So you never go short of that here. It is more expensive, definitely more expensive than Marsh. You know, if you go to Jimmy's or the Abacos grocery liquor store, significantly cheaper, but this one's obviously way more convenient if you're staying here at Treasure. So it is there. And then there's also Triple J car rental if you want to rent a car. It's right there, you know, I think 2 doors down from Flo's. And in there, there's also a little gift shop. If you need anything, if you want to buy anything Treasure Cay themed, you know, with the says Treasure Cay, that's going to be your best bet. There also is a little boutique in there that sells clothes and bags and that sort of stuff, which I've never shopped there, but it looks pretty high end and looks like there's some really nice stuff. So there's that. And then on the far end here, there is a little shop there. I've actually never been in it. I think it's like a kind of home hardware, tiny-ish store. Never been in it. I don't know what's in there. But if you need anything hardware related, there is a hardware store out the gates of Treasure, down the main road, and take a left when you get to the main road. And there's a little plaza right there. There's a big sign that says something about, you know, God, and it's a religious sign. But that shopping plaza has a little hardware store in there. The stuff in the hardware store is very expensive, so take that with a grain of salt, you know. But if you need anything, they have the stuff there. And so moving on to the Tipsy and pool and marina area, nothing's been changed, you know, since my last updates. You know, I did mention a couple updates ago how there were people who are cleaning, and I mentioned at the beginning of this video how, you know, there has been a lot more action. You know, right now it's, what time is it? 7:30 in the morning, and I'm here filming this video, and there's probably 5 to 6 Treasure Cay workers, you know, out and about, you know, mowing the lawn. You can probably hear the lawnmower in the background. So, like, things are happening here, but the actual property itself and the facilities, nothing's changed. The bar's still destroyed. The pool is filled with whatever it's filled with, the same way it's been for years now. The land over here where the condos were along the marina, that's just a grass pasture now. You know, the only dock in the marina is this one dock that runs along the bulkhead here, where it's usually just rental boats there during the day when the rental boats are out. Sometimes there is available dockage that, you know, if you wanted to dock up and walk around the island, you can do that. But nothing much has changed here. You know, there's no docks, there's no facilities, there's no bar, there's no restaurant here. It's pretty much just a destroyed, abandoned bar, old ex-bar and marina area now. And then the Cocoa Bar area over there, I mentioned how there's been a lot of landscaping and stuff going on over there, but besides that, nothing's changed. You know, it's still just a mound of sand. There's no workers over there. There is a, a backhoe or whatever it is over there that they brought over there, I assume, to scoop sand, I don't know, 8 months ago now. They worked with it for about a week, and now it's just resting away over there, which is fairly typical over here in the Bahamas. But besides that, none of the Treasure Cay Limited property has actually been touched. They're manicuring it, they're keeping it up, but in terms of actually fixing it up, nothing's been touched, which is expected. You know, the Meisters, as far as I know, still own it, and nothing's going to happen until Ed Burr, you know, finishes his purchase and moves on. And so that's pretty much what I know. That's what I know about the sale of Treasure, where things stand, and then that's an update on where everything is here at Treasure Cay. I know this video was a little bit longer than most of these updates, but I wanted to kind of address more points than I have in previous videos. And yeah, so if you guys like Treasure Cay, if you have an interest in it like I do, subscribe to the channel. I'm going to keep you guys updated through the entire process, and hopefully, you know, of course, with permission from Ed and Greenpointe, once things get underway, I'd love to document the process. So I want to be a resource to you guys. I want to keep everyone updated. You know, subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment down below, you know, if you guys know anything different. And I'll see you guys in my next little Bahamas vlog, which will be coming up this coming Sunday. And then hopefully I'll have another Treasure Cay update coming out sometime during hurricane season and in November about, you know, the sale closing and things moving forward. But we'll see. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all in the next one.